Today to start art, we're going to do the 4-7-8 breath, which is a great breath for if you ever feel a little frustrated or maybe a little annoyed at, like you're doing a math project or you're doing something online that you don't understand and it feels frustrating for you. Everybody has those feelings. Maybe you have siblings at home and they're bothering you and you feel frustrated by them. The 4-7-8 breath is a great way to calm down your nervous system. And I know that we've talked about this before, but you take a deep breath into the count of 4, hold it for 7 counts, and breathe out to the count of 8. So the first one I'll count and the second one we'll do silently. So take a deep breath into the count of 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now try it and count in your own head. Deep breath in. Right. Well, today we are going to do an art project about the planet Earth. Now, last week we had Earth Day, and Earth Day is a day where we just celebrate the Earth and, think about things that we can do to make sure that we support the Earth. And we do a lot of things here to support planetary health, I think. But one thing that I think is really interesting is that this whole stay-at-home order, which most of us have all been staying at home, it's not just us staying home here in Boulder, Colorado, or in Denver, or even in the United States of America. There are people all over the world who are staying home to protect others who may be susceptible to picking up this illness. And so I think it's really interesting to notice how we are really a global society. We are all connected here on the planet Earth. And our planet Earth is just floating through outer space. We have a moon and the sun and all these little other planets. And I think it's really amazing to see and think about our planet as a whole. Now, in India, there is, I heard that you could see the Himalayan mountains from some of their larger cities, that the air is usually so polluted you can't see the Himalayan mountains, which are the highest mountains in the world. And they're quite beautiful. I've seen them myself. But I think it's really awesome how some positive things are coming from us being at home. So today we're going to make a piece of art celebrating the Earth. And I'd love to tell you what materials you'll need to have to get started. So the first thing we'll need is, I'd like you to cut a square out of a cereal box. So if you have a cereal box at your house, you can ask your family if it's okay if you take the bag out and wrap it up with a rubber band, and then you could cut the box and you could use this nice cardboard for your background for this Earth Day piece of art. Another thing you'll need to collect are, maybe you could go around your house and notice and see if you can find any old magazines. So maybe, I found some of these old Time magazines that my husband had sitting on the coffee table, and he'd already read them, and they're kind of a monthly or weekly issue. And so I asked if I could use them. He said, sure. So you can get some magazines. Now, if you aren't a family that has magazines anywhere, that's fine. Every Tuesday, if you check the mail, you'll get this, all of these, I don't know, people call it junk mail, but there's lots of bright colors in there. There's vegetables, there's things you can buy. It's from grocery stores. They're just, probably trying to sell you something, but you can use these for this piece of art that we're going to create. And those come in the mail on Tuesday. And so if you watch this video on Monday and you don't have a magazine, you could always wait until Tuesday and get this out of the mail, and you could use that for your background. So what we're going to be making is a collage of the Earth. So what I recommend is taking your square of, from your cereal, and grab a circle and trace around the circle. Now, I just used a bowl here. You could use any circle. You could find a glass. You can make a small one. You can make a big one. If you have a compass or something, you could use that. Or you could just freehand a circle if you don't have anything to trace. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then in that circle, I'd like for you to decide what part of the earth that you would like to draw. And this can be a very personal decision. So in addition to the video that you're watching right now, I always send a complimentary YouTube video that's more like a slideshow of just images and ideas. And in that slideshow, I did send just some images of the earth, like taken from outer space. But you can also go to Kiddle, or you can have your parents search something and find some pictures of the earth from whatever country you would like to represent. So since I was born in the United States of America here, and I decided to take my globe and just turn it to an angle where I'm looking at, just the United States. And I drew, this is Canada, the United States of America, Mexico, and South America down there. And so I just drew that part. But if you're from a different country, or if maybe your ancestors, your parents or grandparents are from a different country, you can choose an angle of the globe from that country too, to reflect your heritage. So if you're from Mexico, you could do the Mexico angle. If you're from India or Nepal or Asia or Korea, China, maybe you're from Australia, I don't know. Think about what you want to represent in your Earth Day piece of art. So what we're going to do next is I'd like you to flip through these magazines and pull out some pages that have the colors that you'd like to use on them. So as you can see here, I've got some nice blues and greens here. There's also a cute picture of the little Geico guy, and there's some nice yellows on this page. So I'd recommend just tearing out. I like to do my collage of the earth in blues and greens, because if you look at the earth from outer space, it does kind of look like that. But you don't have to do it like that. You could do it however you want. You could do it with your favorite colors. You can make it really creative and fun. So I recommend just tearing out and making some little piles. So I have a little pile of blue here, a little pile of green here, and a little pile of black here. So if I want to use some of this yellow, I can also tear out some little pieces of the yellow. So the next thing that you'll do is you'll need to find some kind of glue. So I have some glue sticks at home, but you might not have glue sticks at home. If you have liquid glue at home, you could use that. If you have Mod Podge, that's a great material. Also, you can just paint it on. But if you don't have glue, there's actually some really cool recipes you can find online where you can make your own glue. So you could just mix flour and water and bring it to a little boil. You may need to have some help with that from your parents or from your family. But if you don't have glue, you don't necessarily have to go to the store. You can still do this project with just homemade glue. So what you're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start collaging. So when you're collaging, I do recommend collaging this outer space first, because like you've learned from my art classes, we always do what's in the background first. When you're drawing, when you're painting, draw what's behind and work your way forward. So I like to just, I'll take some of these little black pieces of paper, and then I like to just put the glue on the actual black piece of paper rather than putting it all over your paper. Because if you put the glue all over where you're collaging and it dries, then you have to keep putting glue on there and it might not work so well. But if you just put glue on what you're gluing down, then that is a great way to collage. So I'm going to go ahead and just start gluing on some outer space, because again, that's the first thing that I'm going to add to my picture is outer space. So I'm going to add some here. Now, after I glue all of the outer space, I'm going to line up the edges with the earth there. And you can see, just gluing that. Oops. I guess my tape isn't working well. Let's try that one more time. There. So after I glue all of the outer space, all of the black of the space, now I'd like to mention, I think it looks really nice when the edges are not clean. So, you could take some pieces and they could kind of go off of the edge there. I think it looks just kind of interesting. Then you could dive in to the earth. And so maybe I'll do the water next, and I'll just tear the pieces to whatever size that I'd like. When you collage in this way, you end up really, giving your collage some nice texture on the surface of your art, and it just looks nice. So after you collage all of your ocean, and you can add in like different blues to make it look interesting, and then say if you need just a smaller piece, you can always tear it to be the size that you'd like. Let's see here. Okay, so after you're done collaging all the ocean, the next thing you might collage is the earth. I tore out some pictures of trees and things like that, and I thought that would give it a really nice texture too. So I'm gonna do the earth and start filling in those areas. Now, when you have finished collaging your whole earth, you should have some really nice texture on there. Now, you'll notice I did end up adding some stars in my sky, which I think looks pretty nice. Just because there are a lot of stars out in outer space, right? Now, this might not be a project you do in just one sitting. You might end up collecting all your materials, getting them all ready to go, and then the next day come back and just collage outer space, and then the next day you might collage the actual earth. So this could take you some time. This took me a couple of hours to tear and glue all those pieces. So if you don't have a nice big chunk of time, and you can also make a smaller one. You don't have to make this is actually not that big, but you could make a smaller one or a larger one, however you'd like to do it. Now, I would like to tell you about a really cool thing that the Boulder Valley School District is doing for all the students that go to Boulder Valley School District schools. But it's called the Heart Art Project, and it's a collaboration. So a collaboration is when a lot of people work together to make a piece of art. So if you go to bvsd.org/arts, you'll find a really cool heart piece of art on there and a description of this collaborative art project. And they ask that you make a piece of art that includes a heart somehow or another. And then take a picture of the art, and on bvsd.org/arts, and you can pause it and write this down. It'll tell you where to upload the picture, and then they will collect artwork from all the kids in the district, and then they're going to put together a big collaborative piece of art. Because right now it's important that we all tap into our heart and we tap into making art. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up here so you can write that down if you'd like. You can make your own piece of art for this collaborative art project. This is not necessarily one that I'm assigning for you to do, but it's an opportunity for you if you'd like to have your art be part of a really large piece of art that the district is putting together. Now, I thought it would be fun. I tore out a little heart from my magazine, and I thought it would be fun to put a little heart on my collage and have that be my art for my heart art. And I think I'll take a picture of that and send it into the Boulder Valley School District and have them add it to the collaboration. But again, I would like to see pictures of your art. I have so enjoyed the pictures that I've received of all of your artwork. I'm really impressed with your drawing skills, and I hope you're having fun making some art while you're at home. And again, this is in celebration of Earth Day, and we're a little bit late, but I think every day should be a celebration of the earth. So thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.